I spent the last 2 nights in a hotel outside of Pueblo, Colorado. It encouraged me to get the hell out of the city immediately and come directly out to the wilderness and spend some time here alone. Past 3 weeks have been pretty hard on your boy. I went from Phoenix to northern Arizona, up to the Grand Canyon, went out to Sand Hollow, wheeled hard as hell in Sand Hollow, met some buddies out in Silverton, wheeled hard as hell out there. And then I wheeled across Colorado with my buddy Jason all the way to Pueblo. I've got like 500 gigs worth of video footage just from this 3 weeks of trips alone. Not to mention all the videos that I still have from 2021 and 2022 adventures. That said, I figured I'd get me a hotel room in Pueblo and try to get my shit together a little bit, you know? I've been living in the back of Apple now since 2022. And dude, I've had a bunch of adventures. For those not caught up, let me catch you up to speed. Since 2020, I've been living full-time on the road. Christy traveled with me on up until the end part of 2021. During that time, we took multiple adventures in Apple while also traveling full-time in the camper. And I've got lots of footage to sort through from all those multiple adventures that we took. That said, I've only gotten a hotel like 2 times in the past year. Sometimes hanging out in a place with running water, electricity, and a nice bed is a good reset, you know? I'm not saying Pueblo's a terrible city. I've been through Pueblo the past like 3 years. Since I started this full-time journey, I always go by Pueblo at least once a year. I'm just saying where I stayed at was not the nicest. I mean, after all, your boy is a cheapskate, and, you know, I did find the cheapest hotel room in Pueblo, I think, so yeah, it was the cheapest hotel room in Pueblo. At any rate, I'm back out in the wilderness now, thankfully. It's a pretty good spot. It's like, I don't know, 10,000 foot up or something like that. Up at the top, where it's close to 12,000 foot, it is real windy. So I found this spot, and I'm kind of tucked in here in the trees, so shouldn't get too windy. Current situation, Christmas in July. Not too long ago, I bought a 𝐿𝐼𝐿 2000 watt inverter and a solar controller / DC to DC controller thing. Then I met the cool folks over at 𝐿𝐼𝐿 and said, hey, I got your other components. It'd be really cool if I could get one of your batteries and, you know, throw it in Apple and see how it works long term. And then I was like, it'd be even cooler if you could throw in like a solar panel and we could test the whole deal. And they said, yeah, give them hell. So that's the plan. First, I've got to figure out a solution to carry it all and how I'm going to wire it up. My current system for power is, well, incredibly simple. I've got a wire that runs to a fuse block right back in there, and then I've got this hooked up to that fuse block, as well as the 𝐼𝐶. And that's worked out great since 2017 when I did it that way. I started full-timing in the back of Apple here, and, well, I need a little bit more power. Not because I'm necessarily running out, but because all the different things that I power up, like this fan, my mini rock crawler, that's a must. Party speaker, Dometic faucet deal for my water. Plus it allows me to keep my water over there. Also, I gotta power my lasers, right? You gotta have lasers at camp. Need to power that guy. I like to keep this fella charged up. Gotta bring y'all with me. Sometimes I just wanna fly. And just in case I kill it, I got this as a backup. And I also have to keep it charged. Recently, my solution has been just a portable power generator, like one of these. This one is the Blue Eddy EB55. I've used the All Powers one. I've used the Wagentech one. Basically, these things are super convenient. They're little portable batteries. For all intents and purposes, this is a battery with a built-in inverter and a built-in solar controller. And, well, they work great. But you want to know what else works great? Having more power. With this new setup, basically, I'm making Apple the power center. Apple will be the power. There's just going to be power on Apple. And if you want power somewhere else, then, well, you can grab yourself a portable box like that one, a little portable guy like that other one that I have, or, you know, run an extension cord. So, yeah, introducing the foldable 100-watt portable solar panel from 𝐿𝐼𝐿. It's got a pretty cool little case with it. It's already filled up with flies and other bugs from being out here. And then the 100 amp hour lithium ion battery. I must say, this is a heavy duty 100-watt panel. Holy cow. Literally, I could just mount it up on top of Apple and I'd have zero reservations of doing so, other than that solar controller getting wet. She fitting to have all the power. The only problem is now, I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna arrange all this stuff. Man, we're in tight conditions right now. So I'm definitely thinking drawers. I'm thinking drawer system right there. And then I'm also thinking that I want to incorporate the table because I like being able to have something out here as a workspace. And if I can incorporate the table some kind of way into that, That'd be a good reuse of this table. And I also get my drawers and shit like that. So yeah, I want a drawer to hold the Camp Chef, and then I want it to go back really deep into the fridge, basically. And I think that first drawer would probably be right at around 7 to 7.5 inches tall, just big enough for the Camp Chef. And then I'll be able to also put my nesting pots and shit like that into there. That'll effectively bring those two items up some. And if I replace the 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿 with that battery, and then put like the controls and everything up on top of that board, that would be pretty cool. And then do another drawer up here for, you know, just my random stuff. And then of course the water will sit basically like where it's at now, just 7 inches higher. Yeah, I think that would probably be ideal. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, why don't I do anything over here? Well, I really like this cot system. I think it's great and it's comfortable. The only real drawback to it is it's kind of unusable space to a degree, because whenever I'm laying down, I'm just laying on top of that inverter right now that's sitting underneath there. But that's at my legs, so it's not too terrible. However, if it was up where my torso goes, then yeah, it'd be terrible. So I got to figure out something to do with the inverter, as well as for that DC to DC solar controller. I also got to dig in and find out if I need, but I don't think that I need both. If it's got one, I don't think it needs 2 solar controllers, but I'll have to find out. That is a huge 100 watt panel. Just being completely candid, because that's ultimately what I do here. This is why I share these thoughts with you. You guys are here to try to figure out if I like this stuff. And to be completely candid with you, I love the build quality. I think it is the most robust panel design. I mean, it's just great. The build quality is phenomenal. It's very heavy, and it's very heavy duty. It's also comes with that cool bag, which is great, but it's very big and it's very heavy. And for its size, I would think that it could maybe do 150 to 200. Yeah, 100's kind of low, if I'm being honest. That's just what's stated, though. We'll have to really test it out to find out what it's actually pulling. That's kind of how I feel about that solar panel. The battery, well, it's a battery. It's got really nice lugs on there, I'll say that. Other than that, it looks like it's got some kind of data port, so you can talk to it. I'll have to dig in there. They also included, where's that? The data cable, so yeah, I don't know what all that does, but it's a battery. Oh, snap. It came with cables. Dude, I can charge up Apple's main AGM battery. Thank you, solar panel. That's dope. Right now, the biggest challenge is just figuring out where I'm going to put this thing just to even haul it before I can get the drawer set up. My original thought was to stick the 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿 up on top of this thing, but as you can see with the 2 metal objects protruding out of the top there, if the same piece of metal touches that thing, at once, then it'd be an issue. I think I can somehow reuse this guy. Cool thing is I'm able to hook this guy up into the 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿 until I can get the battery situation done. And 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐷𝐿's charging at 85, and yeah, I could probably tilt it down and get a better reading. And of course, whenever I do that, no better time than now than a big old cloud to come cover it up. Now we're getting 7 watts. I'll be honest, I'm super stoked about the fact that it came with those battery clips. Now that battery's got a little top, so hopefully this will work. Nah, dog, because that watcher. So that works. So yeah, if I incorporated that situation into the new drawer situation and had a whole situation, that'd be pretty cool, I think. You know, 3 drawers. And then a way to implement the table to where it actually could pull out and give me some sort of like a counter-ish area. And on the top drawer, make it to where it has a recessed end top so it can be used as a counter. And then the middle drawer would basically be the same size as the Plano box, and then another top drawer about the same size as the bottom drawer that'll just house other random shit. Or maybe I can make random shit drawer be on the bottom. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. At any rate, build all that out. That's my main goal. With the 𝐒𝐻𝐻, I'd really like to set it up just a tad. I've got just a tad of room, and that would give me just a little bit more storage down there for things like, I don't know, food, produce, shit like that. Maybe I could incorporate things like cubbies and shit for, you know, important items. Maybe even a locker of sorts. And I'm not opposed to using this entire piece down here. Just take all that out. Hell, if anything, I'll bang out the dents while I'm in there. Literally endless possibilities. So I'm looking forward to it, but also know that it's going to be a lot of work. I'm hoping that I can find one of these like DIY shops, like these maker spaces or different things like that. First and foremost, I need to design a drawer system, and I need to figure out how I want to do it. So that's the next step, and hopefully you'll stay tuned for the process. I can move this around just about any way that I want it. With the ice code being able to accept power on each side, I could move it over to the other side. Endless possibilities. And it's all going to start right on this platform that I built years ago. The same platform. Well, good news is we know for sure it's understated. It was just reading 107. So yeah, 100-watt panel. That's good because a lot of companies do the opposite. So kudos to you, 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐃. Must say this is a pretty dope camp spot. Just big enough for Apple and I. Has that fire pit. Pretty decent. The road used to go on through there, but they've closed it. And they're trying to make sure that you don't go back there. Also, there's a tree down. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to stop by the grocery store. Well, I had a chance. I just didn't. That said, well, I'm running a bit low on food. I got plenty of beer, though. Basically, I made a beeline for the woods. So I didn't stop by the store. I'm gonna make do though. I've got a little bit of andouille sausage left from the jambalaya that I made for East Goes West 2023. I also think I've got some ramen noodles. So yeah, I'll throw some ramen noodles and some andouille sausage and drink a few beers and chill. Side note, I'm doing a hell of a good job keeping the Camp Chef clean. I've been working with Camp Chef now for like 3 or 4 years, and they're great stoves, man. But the last one took a tumble and that little piece broke. Still worked perfect, but Camp Chef sent me another one to replace it. And I've had it for 3 weeks now. Look at how clean it is. I'm pretty stoked about that. I've always said don't trust a Camp Chef with a clean stove, but I don't know, I might be eating my words. I'd like to keep a clean stove as best as I can, you know? Man, it'll be nice to just be able to have a drawer pull out right there, and then all this stuff come out too in another drawer. Can't wait. Yeah, buddy. Got that good stuff. Hey, look, it's lovingly made in the United States. Damn, man. I feel raindrops. That sucks. I was hoping it'd hold off. I guess I'll have to break the awning out. I'm gonna really try not to. The awning's actually really easy to deploy, but if I don't have to, I'd rather not. You know, it's just one less thing to pack up in the morning. There's actually some kind of motorcycle thing that they have going on this weekend in this area, so I'm not gonna stay here this weekend. I'm gonna leave tomorrow and find another spot. But oh, and also I don't have any service, which isn't terrible, but you know, I do like to keep in touch with folks. I also kind of like watching programs. You know, programs on YouTube, programs on Pluto, programs. Shit on TV, bro. Although tonight I will be happy not consuming anything except for this ramen noodle. I'm fixing to cook that up pretty good. So I made this Cajun sausage ramen concoction, and well, I've certainly had better things, but I've also certainly had worse things. What I will say though is it's a ton of sodium. And I only used half the packet of ramen stuff. Too salty though, I'm not gonna be able to eat the rest of it. That sucks. I found that the only way to keep this guy clean is to do so every single time you use it. Just clean it every time. Good news is, well, I got some rocks. Do a little crawling while I'm here at camp. Can you get out the tub? I got it earlier on a different line. Yeah! Hell yeah, brother. Look at that flex, dog. Alright, now that's a vibe right there. They're both secured now. This little campsite's pretty wild, man. The Pinecone police have been by here twice. Sneaking around, too. Not like blatantly been by here, but like they're trying to catch me doing something. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, pretty wild. Sitting back here pigging out like a fat kid, so the mosquitoes ran me inside. But this stuff right here, oh my God, it's so good. Put a little pepper jelly with some cream cheese on them crackers right there. Dog. Shout out to Matt and Carly, man. They brought this to camp down in Silverton, and I was glad to take the leftovers when they offered them, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I just saw this family. It was a lady and her son and daughter, and they were eating at the burger joint. They get up to leave, and the son, who's a little bit younger than the daughter, left his bottle, like his, like one of these. and she picked it up and grabbed it and carried on. And then he was like, "Oh, sorry," you know, and she wouldn't give it back to him. She kept it. And all I could think of in that moment was if I could deliver a message to both of them. And the message to her would be, get used to it. You're going to be picking up what men leave behind for the rest of your life if you plan on hanging around men. And two, to the little dude, hopefully this message sets in. You don't leave your shit everywhere, because it's a hard habit to break. I'm just outside of Canyon City. Decided to stop here for some lunch, and also needed to grab some stuff from the grocery store, so I hooked it up in there. It is about 1:30 now. I'm gonna start headed north. I looked at it this morning and was trying to figure out if I wanted to go towards Salida or Colorado Springs, both of which I know I'd be able to find camping outside of those cities pretty good. I chose Colorado Springs because I'm very familiar with the area, one, and two, there's a lot around there, and three, the gas was $3.80 a gallon there versus Salida was $4.20 a gallon. So the only thing I hope for now is that it's not going to be extremely hard to find a spot, because Colorado Springs is a bit more crowded, so it may be a little tougher to find a spot there. I am getting gas though here in Canyon City, so I may just relook at it again, because if I can fill up here, yeah, it may be worth it now. Let's take a look. I mean, as the crow flies, you know, let's see. 35 miles away versus I'd stay somewhere up here. 35 miles away. I've got options. That's going to be a cool ride. But so is that. Oh boy. I think I'm just going to go there. Change of plans again. This is why I love doing what I'm doing. Okay. I think that this place that I marked on the map here is actually a really, really cool campsite. But I can't directly recall it. That's like 56 miles away. Salida's like 38 miles away. This is Colorado Springs, and up where I'd probably end up staying, or somewhere over here, that's also 35 miles away. I think I'm just going to go check this place out, because I've been wanting to find out for sure where this one campsite is. It's a pretty epic campsite, in my opinion. So I'm going to go up there and check it out. It's only 56 miles away. I'm going to fill up with gas here in Canyon City, where it's $4 a gallon. It's not $3.80 like it is in Colorado Springs, but it's also not $4.20 like it is in Salida. So I'll fill up here at $4 a gallon. I'll make my way up to that area, and then we'll figure it out tomorrow. That's the current situation. Let's roll. Hey man, sometimes these cats on YouTube make a a simple thing like getting gas into the cinematography masterpiece, and it makes it seem exciting. Something so mundane and aggravating, it makes it seem exciting. So let's try it out. Slowest gas pump ever. I forever fucked that up. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm headed up into those mountains. I think that there's some pretty cool ass campsites up there with a decent amount of service, so I can get work done as well as be off in nice weather and higher elevations. Now the only downside is it storms its ass off nearly every afternoon over there. It's been my experience every time that I've ever been out here, so that's the only variable in the mix, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to cut over and use as much MVUM roads as I can. It looks like I can cut over there, up, and then over through what looks to be like a neighborhood or something. So I'm gonna try that to cut off some time.
Take the responsibility seriously.
All right, headed back onto the trail now. It's about 3 o'clock, which is perfect timing because that'll put me at camp. Should put me at camp sometime around 4 or 5. Pretty stoked about it. Hopefully this is the camp I think it is. And hopefully it's open. right, so I'm super stoked because this is the spot that I was thinking it is. Now we just have to make sure that it's not taken. There's a few little spots up through here, but I'm hoping my main spot's not taken. What we look like, what we look like, what we look like. Hell yeah, wide open, dog. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Score, hell yeah. So I first found this place back in 2021 when I went to go meet the guys over in Silverton on the first East Goes West, well, the first one I had attended, and I was taking the Colorado backcountry discovery route. I remember it hailed its ass off. It was storming real bad as I went all around through this part that I just went through, a little bit of the part that I went through, but the part before that. And there was flash floods, there were landslides. It was a hell of a trip. Unfortunately, a good bit of that data got lost, but here's some of it.
Flash flood emergency for Miller Fork, North Fork of the Big Thompson. The National Weather Service in Denver has issued a flash flood warning for southern Larimer County until 8:45 p.m. At 5:36 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 1.5 and 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. This is a flash flood emergency for Miller Fork, North Fork of the Big Thompson. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Hazard, life-threatening flash flooding. Thunderstorms producing flash flooding. Source, radar and law enforcement reporting dangerous flooding. Impact, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Life-threatening flash flooding of creeks and streams, roads, and low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Drake and Glen Haven. This includes the following additional locations: the Retreat and Storm Mountain. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Move to higher ground now. Act quickly to protect your life. Move to higher ground now. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order.
Alright, it's getting pretty rough here. Probably gonna stop here in just a second and just let this pass on by. Like I said, I don't have any service. The hail's getting really bad. The water's coming down pretty damn bad too. The last thing I want is to be caught in a mudslide. So right here, I'm kind of high up, not too bad. I don't really have to worry about any mountains next to me, and it's not a burned area. So look at the ground from all the hail that's falling through here. That's unreal, man. And it's just nasty, nasty muddy. I'm super thankful I got these tires while I was on this trip. Holy cow. You can see over there though, there's some clear skies, so that's good. I'm just trying to make my way over there to the clear skies. So new development, now there's water coming inside through this little piece up here. I'm guessing from where the roof rack is mounted, which is kind of crazy because it's in the same holes that the factory one was, so it shouldn't be leaking, but clearly it is. Just trying to get all this out. I don't know what's leaking, but it's all wet in here. I actually think that it might be the sunroof. I'm not real sure. All right, so as I suspected, you can see all the water pooling up right there. and that means that the drain hole is actually clogged. So I've got to figure that out, stop somewhere and get that unclogged. Unfortunately, a good bit of that data got lost in one of the few data debacles that I had in 2021 and 2022. I do have a little bit of it that I'm slowly piecing together to try to make something worth watching, but yeah, that's how I found the spot originally. Well, this is the view from camp. That'll work, won't it? There's Apple set up. Shit, I got a nice yard and everything. Alternate view from camp. These will actually help prevent some of the wind too, because the wind is coming that way. So this will prevent any of the real crazy stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed. In all actuality though, who knows? The winds out here and the storms out here are just, they're crazy. So crazy that I really don't want to put up the awning, but it is bright and sunshiny and still directly above us. Oh, you know what I can do? I can set out that solar panel and charge up the 𝐵LUEDDie. Before I covered up the screen, it was registering about 97 watts. Just kind of chilling and working on some rough ideas on how I want to do this whole build out situation. I'm waiting for the sun to go down right over there because, well, it's hot. I'm hanging out over there looking over the prairie lands and enjoying the shade, the wind, and life in general, man. That's the current situation. Well, the sun went behind the trees. That means I'm fitting to cook some stuff. I've been craving a salad, and when I went to the market earlier, I got some spinach, I got that broccoli, I got a tomato, and then I got a cucumber. And yeah, I got some balsamic vinegar dressing. I'm gonna put it all over that. I also got some chicken thighs that I'm gonna cook for it. But tonight though, I'm having jambalaya, and the jambalaya is actually gonna make enough probably for quite a few nights, but it'll be good heated up. I can just, you know, keep it in the pan and heat it up when I need it. I actually forgot a key component to the jambalaya. Now I'm debating on not making it at all. I forgot canned tomatoes. And, well, I mean, you know, you don't have to have them. You don't have to have creamer and coffee either. It just makes it better. You don't have to have alcohol and fruit juices, but it just makes them better. I mean, after all, I even got the stock so I could cook it. I think I'm just gonna wait. Yeah. I'll go get some canned tomatoes tomorrow. I mean, it's not like I'm in a rush to leave this spot anyway, you know? The market is 7.2, well, as the crow flies, it's only 3 miles. It's 7.2 miles driving there. They suspect it'll take me 30 minutes. So, yeah, that's the chore for tomorrow, is going and getting some canned diced tomatoes for my jambalaya, because it's a must-have, man. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for tonight's dinner. I mean, I got this guy and a piece of chicken. I could just cook that. I'll go ahead and get my broccoli ready for a salad tomorrow. I'll also cook that jambalaya tomorrow, and I'll have just a little bit of it, and then the rest I was gonna put for leftovers anyway. So I'll have the salad tomorrow night, a little bit of that jambalaya, and then I'll have the sweet chili noodle bowl tonight. Hey man, this is what you call overcoming obstacles, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, I got them broccolis on there, boy. I'm using this triple lock from Overland Spices on the chicken tonight. I liked how much it looked so much that I went ahead and used it on some of that broccoli too, along with a little bit of Cajun seasoning for tomorrow's salad. I'm gonna let these guys cool off over there, and then I'm gonna eventually put them back in a bag so that way I can use them tomorrow. Go ahead and get that water boiling for this guy. These are actually really good, and I think for the most part they're halfway decent for you. Hell yeah, we got the boiled water done, we got it sitting in the noodles, we got the chicken about to pop, we got the mountains popping, good food, cold brews, great views. What more could you ask for? Hell yeah, we got it all in here now. We're fixing to mix it together. This is about to be right. Let me tell you, I've had this before, but it ain't never been this good. This time it's right. It's nice and spicy too, but it's right. The little bit of time that the solar panel was on this brought it up from, I think it was around 60 when I plugged it in, to 100, so that's good. Only problem is that thing's huge, man. I can't work with that, unfortunately. It's too big. They make much less substantial 100-watt panels that I would be just fine with. The minimum definitely is 100 watts, though. If I can get more than 100 watts, that would be great. Ideally, I can make some kind of quick detach, flexible dilly-wop thing up on top of the roof. I think that's the play. I mean, this guy could go on the roof. It's just got that solar controller attached to it, but I don't need the solar controller because I've got the one already. It's good to have options, you know what I mean? And I've got them, so that's good. Meanwhile, check out this view. Huh? Pretty dope, right? This right here is my favorite part of this campsite, though. This view. I don't know what mountain that is, but yeah, it's beautiful. And when the sun comes up, it should be shining directly on that mountain. It's going to look absolutely gorgeous, which is the reason that I positioned Apple this way instead of parking her over there, because this way I get a better view. This way is not terrible, but this way is definitely nicer. What's happening, and good morning, even though it's like 12:45, it's actually afternoon. I've already packed up and I'm ready to roll. I'm headed down to the Whitewater Park in Buena Vista, probably about 30 minutes away here, and I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm stoked to go swimming because it's about 80 degrees. Yeah, that's the current situation. Headed down the mountain. It's beautiful views. I get to see this mountain as I come down, and well, here, check it out. That's the mountain. I'm pulled over, stopped, because this biker just came by and said there were 2 more with her, so there's 1 and there's 2. Perfect. 1 more, yeah. By the way, that's how you're supposed to tell everybody how many people are in your group whenever you come up on them on these trails, so that way you don't have any kind of like head-on collisions and stuff like that. So yeah, you just hold up the number of people that are back behind you, and you're good to go. So there's certainly worse places that you could spend a Sunday whenever it's 80 degrees outside, you know? Plus I needed a shower, so this works out good. Back at camp chilling, and well, the wind's picked up, which is not abnormal for it out here. Good bit of it's blocked by the rocks right there, which is a good thing. Dude, the swimming hole was dope. I'm going back to that probably tomorrow. I'm leaving here Wednesday because I've got hummingbird feeders that are gonna stick onto the side of Apple here, coming to Colorado Springs, and that was the closest place I could pick with an Amazon box. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty dope. So every morning I see hummingbirds, and every day actually, just about, I see hummingbirds no matter where I'm at. I want to feed them, so I've got little suction cup hummingbird feeders that are going to stick on here. I got 2 of them coming, 1 for both sides. Yeah, it's going to be pretty dope. Well, I think I found out why the wind picked up. There's a storm over them there hills. It's coming in fast. Buckle your shit up. What's up, dude? So I took this video last year. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the nice little ride. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. It's just kind of my thoughts out loud as I traveled through Colorado with no real intentional destination in mind. But I wanted you guys to see the process that I had, the brainstorming that I had whenever it comes down to actually building out Apple. Here we are a year later. Apple is built out, and I can't wait to show you guys that whole process, so stay tuned. If you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and until next time, you guys keep hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit, and remember, you can be happy if you've a mind to. Peace, y'all.